Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you guys are on this journey. I'm super excited to be hanging out with my lovely friend Marcia. We're going to be doing a bit of a tarot poll and just a chat as well. We've had some questions and we've been looking at the whole topic of out here in with cloned meat, and we wanted to do a bit of a dive on that. But before we really dive into that, we just wanted to chat. Again, I want to introduce you to my dear friend Marcia. Her, and a lovely bunch of soul family is also getting together and doing meditations and tarot chats, and they're just opening their own YouTube channel too. So, did you want to introduce that a little bit?
Hi guys. So yeah, it's very grassroots. We've walked together on this path just in a self inner healing path, and we meet all the time. And we kind of support each other in our kind of spiritual journey. Sorry about my dog. I'm going to let him out. Um, so then we thought that we would just start a YouTube channel and kind of get this information out to the public. We started pulling tarot. We have people joining our Telegram group, which is really exciting. We opened it up to the public. So if you're looking for any like community of like-minded people, support in your spiritual journey, you can absolutely get our Telegram link from Bree, and or she can post it or whatever, and you're more than welcome to join and stay up to date with all of us. It's just really exciting. It's kind of growing into whatever it grows into, right? So yeah.
Yay, that's amazing. Yes, and I'll absolutely put the Source Energy Collective. I'll put it down in the description for you guys. So really excited. I mean, Marcia's been doing a phenomenal job with her tarot readings as well, and she's just been so accurate. Her and the lovely soul group as well that come together and do tarot talks every morning, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So we will dive into a little bit of that tarot reading in a few moments, but I know Marsh and I wanted to chat with you guys too because we've been doing, I know you've put together meditations when it comes to a lot of big energies, especially with 3i Atlas and looking at the Atlantis and Lemurian, the masculine, feminine energies coming together. And again, that fusion that has come up in my life with my recent experience with my Lyran. This beautiful, like big white lion appeared. And I think you wanted to chat a little bit about that before we dived into our tarot topic for today. But
Wanted to
yeah.
catch up with you because, like, we talk all the time, and then you went to Egypt, and there were so many things. And before you went to Egypt, some kind of pretty cool things happened, right? You saw that white lion. I know you were concerned about your sciatica and the long flight. And then I also know that um, we knew you were going to get an expansion and activation over there, right? Like that came through so strong. And then the thing that we've been talking about with the Kundalini and the Nile being the Kundalini of the earth, and what I've been getting lately with the downloads about it, I'm so connected to the comet. It's like it's all about the comet. And the next time, I think it's like December 19th, it's going by Earth, right? And it's going to be a new moon in Sagittarius. And I thought the expansion piece was going to be as it was going by Jupiter next year. But that's not it, because Sagittarius, this planet, is Jupiter. So it's the expansion, it's the Kundalini, it's the going up the Kundalini, it's clearing all the chakras, right? So that's what kind of came up. And I knew that you were going to get like expanded over there. And I just wanted you to share like your experience in Egypt.
I mean, it was incredible. I thought that we were going to absolutely have a beautiful trip, right? But I think I underestimated how many changes were going to actually take place and happen. I mean, a week before we went, again, that's when that lion, this big white liar, oh my goodness, lion came and appeared, and it was so stunning. And there was a lot of, I want to say, like downloads. Sometimes I get my stuff, like I'm a very visual person, so sometimes I see things, sometimes I get like impressions or a knowing, and they're very subtle subtle, like very subtle, very fast. And that's how I noticed the difference between, am I thinking about this or are they downloads, right? And with this Lyran, it came in and it was, giving me a lot of downloads about, again, fusion and everything since Egypt and since I've been back, even with tarot readings, have really linked up to this and what's happening to the collective. So, how I can share, like, too, about a week before we went to Egypt too, I started seeing more things, and like even I've mentioned this a few times in some of my videos now, but I even seen a fairy very visually. Like I seen it with my eyes hovering around in my closet, and it was quite an interesting like energy. I seen it twice, and then afterwards too, seeing the Lyran that came in, and also connections with ladybugs. So after that connection with the Lyran that came in, all of a sudden there was a ladybug in our bedroom, and I was like, oh, that's so interesting. So I took it outside and let it go, and then I went outside to do some stuff, and another ladybug, maybe it was the same one, landed on my arm, and I was like, well, what in the world? So really big synchronicity. And what I found was interesting is in Egypt they have their scarabs, those like they're, I think, dung beetles, or they're beetles, and they're very symbolic and important out in Egypt as well. So I thought that was a really cool synchronicity. And when we look at in Egypt with the scarabs, they seen them as like they had their babies from the dung. I think they have them within the dung. So to the Egyptians, or to the ancient cultures, they appeared out of nowhere. So it's that evolution, the transmutation of nothingness, right? Like creation from nothingness. And that's where it all comes into that, like that void. And also working with the onks, with the magnetic and dielectric that we were chatting about, and trying to get a deeper understanding around that. But the whole trip was just incredible. Synchronicities after synchronicities. And something that I think is a really important note too is when we first got there, we lost our luggage. And I know for you, Marcia, too, with being connected with the class and Brad, surrender is a big topic. And I'd love to hear your perspective on this as well. But when we were there, both Brad and we didn't get our luggage, and we were like really annoyed at first. It was really frustrating. And then we were at a dinner, and I seen him surrender. He completely surrendered. And I'm not even joking. Like, just, I seen it happen. We walked out of the restaurant, and we walked past this little, the lobby where there was a little store. And I turned to my right. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's your bag, out of nowhere. And he's like, what? We weren't expecting it. We tried tracking it. One was lost, one we thought was still in Vancouver, and mine wasn't found still. So I was excited his bag was found, but then I was still holding on, right, to the fact that I didn't have my bag. And then finally I was like, okay, you know what? I'm surrendering to this. So I went through my process. I let go. I surrendered. And within that 3 hours, we were in Cairo, and we had to fly over to Aswan, and the bag appeared.
Wow.
Our lovely guide, he called us in the room. He's like, go down to the lobby, they're delivering your bag, because they kept saying your bag's there. I'm like, there's no bag, like we don't have a bag. So I thought that was a really cool point to mention about surrender as well.
I feel that kind of goes in tune with how you're discovering the 0 point, the dielectric, the magnetic. Now, I've heard Brad talk about this for about 3 years now, and I fade out because it's very confusing. But what I do know is like my experience, right? And it's your experience as well. So when I was trying to sell the house in Vancouver, it took 8 months, and I was putting magic in the house. I was imbuing grid lines. I was getting moon water, imbuing all like the essence I would put in there, putting intentions out. But there was so much pressure with my wanting, with my needing, with my like anger and the frustration, right? That as soon as I just kind of surrendered and practiced that surrendering piece, every time those feelings came up of anxiety, I would surrender, and then the house sold.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah.
Yes, that was beautiful. And now you're living a beautiful life in nature. I've seen your
Yeah.
blue jays, and oh my goodness,
But
it's
that's talking about the surrender, right? It's not talking about the house or moving or whatever, but that's like
no,
the
just the
importance
act.
of
Yeah, the act
surrender.
of
Yeah,
surrender. So
yeah.
if any of you guys are stuck, I mean, going into that surrender, and I mean, putting what works. I like cord cutting, but I like also, creating that chi ball within the hand, and you can put that, project that situation in there and om chant into it as well, which is,
Hmm.
I guess one technique that we can briefly share there. But all in all, it was just a fabulous trip. I had again, as I've mentioned a little bit when I did my show with Richard and the lovely Gary, I got really sick at the end and I didn't get to go to Giza. I missed out on that trip, but that's okay. It just means I have to go back another time. But when I was there, it was really interesting because, again, as you mentioned in the beginning with my sciatica, back in the summer, I had a random flare up where I had like nerve pain shooting up my leg, and I've never experienced anything so painful. It happened for like 10, 12 hours straight. It was like being plugged into electrical socket, and it took a really long time. And like you said, I was doing my kundalini work, my energy healing, working with magic, and it was still lingering. And also I would probably was holding on to it. I wasn't fully surrendering to it too. But it was interesting because on this trip I was a little bit nervous. We had a really, really long flight, and plus we were on the go consistently, and I was having struggling like even walking around for 10, 15 minutes. So the trip, nothing, no nerve pain. It was completely gone. It has been completely gone. It has not come back. But something that I would like to share that was kind of interesting is I feel like my whole connections with that lion being that I had prior to going, when I connected in that temple with Sekhmet, oh my goodness, so powerful. It was like a force of nature. And even with the imagery, we were able to see orbs just everywhere. It was so stunning, just tingles down my entire body, being able to feel like this transmutation happening. And after we left there, it was weird because all of a sudden I started getting really like not pain, but it was like stuck or stagnant energy, and it started to form around again my left leg and around my hip, and then all of a sudden it moved to different parts of my body. And then a couple days after that, I ended up getting sick. But since then, it's been like this massive recalibration and purge, and something that was so prominent when I came home. This was by far the most interesting sensations and feelings that I had. But when I got home, had my bath, collapsed in bed, and I woke up thinking there was an earthquake. I literally thought I woke up was looking for things falling because my entire body was just inside vibrating. And this happened for quite a few hours. And it was the strangest feeling, but I think it was that also recalibration of all this energy, all the downloads, and coming across the world. Of course, it's probably, physical things like dehydration and just being on the go straight for 10 days. But there was a huge shift energetically, and it was like shaking all of that stagnant energy out. So huge recalibration, I guess I can say.
So I think it's because you were finally able to relax and get in bed. But I think that lion showed up. It's so important. And I remember you talking about it. And I remember like going, that lion is so important to you, Bree. You need to look into that lion. And I feel that lion came up. It's a white lion, right? And I was like, you need to get a white cat because they have a black cat, right? Like you need to get a
Well,
white cat. But like I think the lion came and guided you into this like ascension kind of journey. This trip for you was a soul's journey. It definitely was. And then when you met Sekhmet, I'm getting goosebumps. When you met Sekhmet, doesn't she have like a lion or like a cat or
yeah,
something
yeah,
as a
yeah. There's Basat, which is Basat. Hopefully, I'm saying that correctly. Which is that more that feline, but Sekhmet is the lion. So
baby?
it was just like I was meant to connect at that point. So at that point, I guess Giza wasn't in the cards for me, and that's okay. It was absolutely a life changing and incredible trip. And something else that was really cool with synchronicities that I think I'll conclude with too is, it just really hit me hard. But we were traveling on the bus for quite a while, and we ended up at this hotel hotel for lunch, and we were standing there. I was there with my partner Brad, and we were standing there, and this other guy is just kind of staring at us, and it was like very noticeable. So somebody was like, "Hey, like, can we help you with something?" And he's like, "I know him." And it was just this moment where it was one of his clients. He had sessions with him before, but I'm like, for everything to line up perfectly to be in the middle of Egypt, in this hotel that we weren't even staying in, we just stopped there to have lunch, and to have that person, kind of connect with us in that moment, it just really really hit me hard with synchronicities, and how like nothing's just by accident. There's just this beautiful unfolding story that happens within the collective, and we're all connected, we're all one. And when you start to like really see it and understand it on a deeper level, you can't unsee it. So it's just beautiful.
And that's what's coming in with the three eye atlas. Just recently, we just did, the cards are like jumping out. We just did a meditation from going from I to we, and that it exactly talks about that. It's activating the codes of unity, going back to Lemuria, activating like what we knew in the Lemuria. Because we sent this comet, like I know that in my heart, like we sent this comet back in the day to us here now, right? With all these codes to kind of give us a jumping point, a remembrance of who we were, but then like rebirthing into something new, like jumping off from that point into our new own journey, right? So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I guess I can share with the download that I got from Segment as well, is because you just said something that triggered me wanting to share this as well. But the message that I got from Segment that I wrote down too was is it's like the world, it's a correction. It's not a so-called like apocalypse. So many people still are seeing doom and gloom, and we are living in a purification cycle, and it's the fire that's burning away the artificial layers that's been placed on like nature and the original nature. So we look at the body as being a solar instrument, and even moving to looking at Egypt with all the temples and the hieroglyphs, there's a big distortion there, because how I see it is like it's literally like a map of consciousness, and to learn how to work with our higher selves. But what I got too is this energy was saying like we can hold more light and more truth and more force than we've ever been told, and the truth is returning, but it's going to burn. It's like humanity asking for that awakening, but it requires the fire to burn up and transmute. And that's where again that phoenix comes in, the fusion, and it all kind of integrates with this transmutation for what the collective is going through. So knowing that the truth's not the chaos, it's the truth is the end of chaos. So there's a lot of clarity, I feel like, coming to the collective moving forward, and absolutely in connections with Three Eye Atlas as well.
And this is how our conversations always go. Like when we chat at night, like
Yeah.
little pieces kind of fit in, right? Because you were talking about fire burns, and that was the download that came in after the ostrich call, right? The fire burns, but then we have to transmute it with water, soothe it with water so that it kind of doesn't burn anymore. But we use that passion to move forward, because nobody's saying to be an ostrich or to put your head in the sand, right? I don't even know why we say ostrich putting the head in the sand. They don't do that, right? And so it's not about that. It's that transmutation, again, the fusion of fire and water, and using both those elements that are here for everybody, right? So that we can transmute this. And so when Segment was like, yes, this is going to burn, we do have water to help us, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's the darker, parts of ourself, and the energies. It's not to be, scared of. It's part of ourselves. It's about getting to understand those deeper, darker areas as well. So it was an absolutely incredible trip, and I mean massive transformations, but not even just for me, like on a planetary level, seeing the energies. And also, I don't know if I shared this with you. I shared it yesterday on, let me get the picture. It's pretty cool. We did get quite a few cool captures. And the one capture I got was we had a beautiful dinner on the rooftop in Giza, like right looking over with the Giza pyramids, and above it there was like a ship like, look at that, a ship like above the
Oh,
pyramids here. So we have the pyramid there and above it.
It's right
Isn't
above
that
it.
cool? Sorry, my phone is
It's
clearly
like right
filming.
above it.
Isn't
Moved,
that crazy? And
yeah.
then, yeah, I really love that capture. And then there was another, after that one, you could see here just like a little bit of an orb off in the side too, or like a dot. And I
Yeah,
like right here.
yeah, yeah.
So
I
pretty
can see that.
cool. Yeah. Again, sorry, my dirty phone. But yeah, it was just incredible. Some of the images that we captured too, and I think some people in our group captured some really cool photos too. So, I mean, just so transformational, and I have so much love and gratitude for having the opportunity to go. So, thank you for letting me share a bit of that again. Um,
Absolutely.
and yeah, so
I did miss you. And you
yeah.
know what? Like the good thing about the suitcase being missing, I remember Bree was texting me, and I was like, "This is your opportunity to go shopping." Right?
You know what though? And I went and I got some more clothes and stuff, but the problem too is where we were was a very big touristy area. And we at the mall we went to, it was huge. I think it had like 6 or 8 floors,
Yeah, you
massive,
probably.
and it was expensive. I found it actually more expensive than it would have been out here in Canada. So
Oh,
that was a little bit like I did have to get some stuff, but it was a little bit of a bummer, but that's okay. It's part of the journey, part of the experience, and I learned how to surrender
surrender.
even better.
Yes. And that is actually manifestation. That is the key to manifestation right there. Is the
Yeah,
surrender.
yeah, exactly. Putting that intention out there, and then you guys, we have to really drop every expectation and just know that it's
Everything.
happening. And
Yeah.
when you do that, it all
It
falls
comes.
together.
Yeah, it
Yes, I
comes
love
so
it.
fast, so fast. So I love that you were saying like you have to meet the darkness to do into the expansion. But like one of the things is the reason why one of the things I wanted to say was that even though we're talking about cloned meat, it's not to go into the fear of it, right? Definitely not. We're going to use the awareness that we get with the cloned meat. Notice what emotions come up and then transmute it and soothe it with the water, right? Let it flow out of us, and then use that knowledge to move forward in a kind of balanced, non reactive way, right?
Exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
so many of us are waiting for things to be exposed, right? So this is it. This is part of it. Like you can see over the news too. I pulled up the one article. This was just with global news because I'm here in Canada. But yeah, it talks about it here. Like if clone meats enters the food supply, will Canadians know? So I wanted to do a bit of a Celtic cross tarot spread on this one. From my perspective, I think most likely things like this are already in the system and have already been released. But this is kind of, in our face where we can bring more awareness and have transparency. So I'm not saying it's not about the clone me, but this is a really good opportunity for us to really see things from a different light. And I do think it's going to lead to, I mean, it's going to take some time, but it's going to lead to more like I guess you can say like mom and pop shops. You're gonna see more people starting to grow their own food and work with the communities opposed to like working with big corporations when it comes to food. So
Yeah.
do you want to start on what are you thinking? Do you want to pull on just a general energy of the situation of the clones meets and see what the momentum is moving forward?
Let's do like a deep dive, and then you kind of go into where spirit is leading you. Right now, I'm hearing, let's see if the clone meat has been rolled out without our knowledge of it. And it's also kind of weird that global news is talking about it because global news doesn't talk about anything important, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of right. So I'm going to go into that, and I just messed my cards up. Oh, but you do yours, and that way we can like attack this in different angles.
Okay. So interesting enough, when I look at the current situation, I have the Ace of Wands here, and I love this because then, as we said, this is that spark, that ignition, right? When we look at a beginning, also a beginning of a massive truth cycle. So we can see this as a trigger event, and again, it's not just about the clone meat. This is about a bigger awareness, a wake up that sparks. And as I was saying earlier too, like I think this is also in connections to the ostriches too, because when we look at the lack of transparency that has really been out there, this is really a big trigger that will awaken people. So Ace of Wands, really big spark. Interesting enough, if you look at the challenge, I have the King of Pentacles, and that's all about the corporations, the greed and the corporations, right? The King of Pentacles. It's all about the money. It's all about the, these profit-driven decision makers on the top, trying to maintain their so-called, let's say, status quo. So it's not about trying to help the people. It's all about money and greed there. When we look at what we need to focus on, what I have is the justice, and I love this because that's the accountability, right? Look at that. So that's all about, things coming back to center, and I feel like transparency is the word that I keep getting again and again, and also like ethical frameworks. So when we look at something that I found interesting too is when I was doing some digging, this was in the past, but what I've read too is the certain products that are launched out there. I know some people want to try to eat organic and eat healthy, but even some of these organic products are not that good. And we're kind of veering off into another whole situation if I talk about the whole alkaline in the foods. Maybe we'll touch base on that after. But the justice to me, when I see this is showing like certain foods that have just even one organic, let's say, material in there, or whatever it is, one organic ingredient, that can be labeled as organic when 99% of the other ingredients are not. So something interesting that I read in the past, but the justice with what we need to focus on is that accountability and transparency. When we look at the past, I have what's leaving us, and we have the Six of Swords too, and this is an energy of moving past, like this is the calm after the storm. So I do think that there could be still quite a big storm that's going to brew here with some of the energies, because I do also have the Five of Pentacles, which is the sense of being, or Five of Cups, which is being out in the cold, but also with the Five of Pentacles, we have here in reverse, which is coming out of the cold, and this is the strength. So when I see this, it's like people are starting to finally see things from a different perspective as well, realizing they've been kept in the dark, right? So a couple of the other cards that I have coming out, and then we'll see what you have over there. Now, interesting enough, when I look at the near future as well and the outcome, we have that Five of Cups again. So I do think that there may still be some hiccups along the way. This could even be shortages with food and things that'll happen in the near future, but there is a new energy coming out because the High Priestess is in the external environment. And this is about, I feel like, people having that knowledge, because the High Priestess is all about that hidden knowledge, right? So that's kind of the current, like a bit of a perspective that I'm getting with my cards here. What do you have on your end?
So I did ask what Spirit can tell us if the clone meat has been rolled out, because I did see a reel about one person saying it's been out for about a year. I also saw another one about how they're making eggs, and the eggs look exactly like an egg, and it tastes like an egg, cooks like an egg, but it's not an egg. And so we have to really think back also about the fact that, like, I'm vegetarian now, but they've done this to our vegetables too. Like, most of our vegetables out there are hybrids, and they cause an acidic kind of environment in your body, and it's not good. So it's very difficult to find like a vegetable that is like alkaline for an alkaline diet. So we learn from our past, right? And so if they're doing this with our meat, they've done this with the vegetables, and it's basically poison, like the hybrid, in my opinion. And I'm not a doctor or a naturopath or anything, but this is just my perspective, is that it's poison and I don't want to eat it, right? So we have to be aware of that. So in the past, I got the Hanged Man. So I feel that this is the collective being kind of held in like illusion, right? It's like the hanged man. It's like they're going to bring this out, but they're not going to tell us what it is yet. So they're keeping us hanging on to like what they know is their agenda, what they want. And it absolutely has to go with the ostriches because you have to wonder why they're going towards all the animals, right? They're killing a lot of like healthy animals. Because they have this cloned meat agenda to bring in. So when like the farmers don't have the product, they can bring in their product unlabeled so that they get the money and they get the sales while they're putting all our farmers like with all these restrictions and all these like guidelines that make no sense, right? So the Two of Pentacles is in our present right now. And this kind of tells me that this situation with the clone meat can go both ways. I'm really kind of wondering why global news is broadcasting and is that like the media turning sides? Is that the media actually kind of telling the truth, or do they have an agenda? That would be another great question to ask the cards. So it could go either way right now. And I love the fact that people are in the know about this because I also saw another post that they are holding on. They're not, and I don't know if I believe this, but they're not going to roll it out yet unlabeled. And I saw a post on that. Like it looked like a really, look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Page of Cups, this is actually making people, this is in the near future, it's actually making people like discern more their truth. And what you said, right, Bree? It's like my family does eat meat. We're gonna go get that from the Heterites, right? But then I'm also on these farmers Facebook pages and they're like, you can't sell meat. It has to go through the CFIA. So I'm not sure what they're talking about there. But then another person is like, if you know the farmer, they will sell it to you, right? So they have all of these restrictions. Like even if you want to go in to get your own meat, you can do it from the Heterites because I think that they're able to sell like turkey chickens. They're so huge and they don't, they're chickens, but they look like turkeys. Yeah. And then I got the Three of Pentacles in the future. This card, okay, so this card is the one that's them showing like the whole reason that this thing is happening is because it's showing the public what they have been doing. So I'm actually getting yes. I'm sorry. I'm actually getting yes that it's out there already. And they're just telling us about it now. And because there's such an outrage, maybe they'll pull it back. But we have been eating like gross food. And then the Five of Swords is the advice, right? The advice piece. The Five of Swords is like my conflict card. Like a lot of like things are going to come up. And I think your first card was the Fire, right?
Yes, well, it was an Ace of Sword or Ace of Wands, sorry, and that is also a yes card when we were looking at that question. And when you said you had that Three of Pentacles, it was on the back of my deck. And then I also have that High Priestess in the external. So I agree with absolutely what you said. There's like yes, from my perspective, I think some of this has already been rolled out, but this is also the exposure of the hidden stuff because the High Priestess is hidden knowledge. Oh, and underneath that is the Hermit, things that have been hidden beneath the surface that, some of us may not realize, but now it's coming out. So absolutely interesting. Yeah.
And the Eight of Cups is on my back of the deck. So that's like the kind of energy for the whole read. And the Eight of Cups for me, I read my cards super intuitively. It's like I look at the symbols, but like the Eight of Cups is like he's looking straight on at the illusion. So this is absolutely a thing for us to like look straight on at the illusion, how we've been living. We've been told lies. They do what they do anyways, despite what we say, right? And sometimes they don't even tell us. So yeah, that's why I became a vegetarian.
Yes. Well, oh my goodness. And the Eight of Cups too is like walking away. So I think this is gonna, bring more again transparency. So funny, the devil comes out when
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, that fell out, the devil. But it's walking away from the old way that we consume food. And again, none of this is all just a perspective. None of this is saying like what you guys should do and what you guys should eat. But when I was looking into this as well, it's like I see us like a bit of us being programmed to consume food when our bodies when we look at look at breatharians, right? You have that solar energy. So I think that a lot of our body could be activated with like being solar fed, right? Of course, that would take work and time to like integrate into that. But I don't think a lot of our body's meant to eat all of this stuff, like the carnivore diets and all of that. So it's kind of interesting to go down that rabbit hole and see what's really happening. But
I
yeah,
know that like people eat way too much in our society, right? So it's like, yes, it's going to push us into like actually knowing what we're eating, getting it from the farmer's market, growing it ourselves, right? Because that's the only way. And even getting the heirloom seeds, right? And the non-hybrid seeds, like we're going to go back to the way the earth was. And the earth talks to me so much, right? And she's not angry, she's ascending, and there's like so many like earth movements happening, but that's like not anger. She has so much love for us, like even if we're like destroying things, like still she's definitely a mama, you know. Mhm.
absolutely. And she provides, like, okay, it's interesting because before we, went to Egypt as well, we were looking a lot more at like incorporating alkaline diets. And what I noticed too is like when we do consume actual electric foods, like not acidic foods, because again, that acidity is what forms all these illnesses as well. But when we have that, let's say like sarsaparilla, like moringa, sea moss, all the like earth's natural herbs, your body's actually really nourished. I'm a big snacker, so I snack all throughout the day. And I had that smoothie in the morning, and that kept me full almost the entire day because my body actually was nourished. It got what it needed, as opposed to going and, eating whatever I don't know, an egg McMuffin, right? I do like my eggs, so that's something that I'm looking to kind of incorporate again more back into that alkaline diet. But actually, we started making our own supplements. We started getting all the herbs, holy basil, again, sarsaparilla, semen, all the stuff, and we will make like capsules. And we started taking our own herbs as well, or our own supplements. So, I guess what I can say too is like when you do have your body nourished with Mother Earth's actual resources, you don't need all the junk, right? So we've just been programmed and, addicted with all these chemicals that have been put in our bodies.
And there's a reason that this stuff is all happening. I know you guys have heard about the fact that they want to block the sunlight, right? And they want to make hybrid foods. Now they want to clone meat. Is because we get our prana, we get our energy. The earth is like feeding us, right? It's not just feeding our physical body, it's feeding our energetic body, So this is like, okay, so I pulled on why is why is global news talking about this, right? And I got the high priestess over the hanged man. And okay, so in my kind of like perspective, the news puts spells on people, right? And it kind of hypnotizes people. So that is the high priestess over the hanged man. That is confirmation right there. It's like putting people into not knowing what's going on. The Eight of Cups and is over the Two of Pentacles. So it's a moving into, how did the Eight of Cups come up again? Didn't I have the Eight of Cups?
Yeah, you did before. It's a big synchronicity. It's about walking away too and leaving things behind.
Yeah, and then the two, it's over the Two of Pentacles, right? So the walking away. So it tells us that that's the path that most people are going to be taking, is the walking away from the illusions. And then the Page of Cups and the Seven of Swords. This guy looks super like sneaky. Look at that. Like he's so sneaky. Like he's like, ha ha ha, I got this, right? Um, and then the Page of Swords, like the people are going to see it. The page is the messenger of like emotions, right? They're going to see it, the sneakiness. And then the world, it's going to get flip-flopped, babe. It's going to get flip-flopped as they're going to show, like this is them showing what they're doing, right? And the world is saying it's going to flip it. And the advice, you just got to watch out, like exactly our message today. Don't play into the fear. Notice what's going on. That's the fire. And then let the water come in and soothe it, because look, and then let it go and transmute it into like powerful, non-reactive actions. So we have the devil and then we have the conflict, right? So this
Mhm.
is going to bring some stuff up for the collective for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. And some of it I do think there is some disclosure as well, and there it is purposefully done because in my situation I have the Queen of Swords. And when we look at the Queen of Swords, that's that discernment, it's that information coming out. It's like cutting through the illusions as well. But right now, I keep getting the fives too. My Five of Cups is in this present moment. So we're feeling like really out in the cold, and it's not even just feeling out in the cold. I think so many people are so fed up with the betrayal. Like you got that Seven of Swords, that's deception. That is like just pure betrayal from institutions, from the governments, right? About being kept in the dark, because my Eight of Swords aspecting new energy, like that Page of Cups, which is you've got multiple times, is that messenger, that bringer of new information. But that Eight of Swords kind of aspecting this too, it feels like we have just been in that had that blindfold on. We've been in that dark for so long, and people are really starting to get frustrated with that. And that's where we're like moving into 2026 with that fire horse too. It's going to be, I feel like, quite a heated year, and lots of changes I feel like will happen, and this will transform into, again, from what I can see, like Nine of Cups here. This is really beautiful energy, like a wish fulfillment. It's something being very close with an emotional alignment and manifesting into this like sweet spot. So I think that we're going to see in the very near future, like years ahead here, again, more and more people coming together, growing their own foods. Not necessarily everyone, but there's going to be more community based, farms and stuff when it comes to the big corporations that are just dealing with all the hybrid foods and stuff nowadays.
Again, it's also that like through the fire, the phoenix, right?
Yes.
Through the fire comes transmutation. And
Yeah.
we have gotten so many, I'm getting goosebumps right now. We have gotten, we've gotten so many messages about how to do our own transmutation. I'm losing the word. What is that called? Transmutation, kind of like it's fusion. It's like creating something new, right? And not like honoring those two parts of it, honoring the fire, honoring the water, right?
Yeah.
Let's pull on what's going to happen now, like with the momentum of the cloned meat. Like, is it actually going to like take hold? What's going to happen?
I think it might for a little bit, because I think things need to get a little bit louder. Because my outcome when I did my Celtic Cross was the Five of Cups, which is still being out in the cold. So I do think that things have to get a bit louder. What can you share, Spirit?
I got the 5 of cups.
You got the Five of Cups?
5 of cups.
Isn't that interesting, hey?
Oh wow. Yeah, you're right, babe.
You know
Wow.
what though? I do have some pretty nice energy, like in terms of like I love how we have Mother Earth, the Empress coming out in the situation, and we have let yet the Lovers in the present, but the Lovers is also my card for governments and institutions. So I feel like they've gotten away with a lot of stuff with the Chariot in the past. This is that external force, that control, and them just doing what they want. Even look at this Three of Cups, and it's kind of like looking at the drinks coming from, I don't know, from this interesting chest. But it feels like this, fake looking artificial liquid, right? So when we look at the things that they've gotten away with, and then we have the Empress in the situation with the world as the outcome, this will
Hmm,
open up new opportunities
that's
with
good.
lots of communities. Three, I've got those three, and you kept getting those three as well. I've got Three of Cups and Three of Wands.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, this isn't over. I think it's going to have to get louder and things might have to get a little bit more intense, but it will cause a breakthrough here. And interesting enough, I had the hummingbird that came out earlier, and I get such a big like electric energy from the hummingbird, and to me that is us moving forward again with using the actual nature for we've got the forest there, the forest and the hummingbird from Mother Earth and Gaia, because we have all the resources here. Like there's no shortage. It's just these, hybrid systems that these governments are trying to push because there is, money to be made with that.
Yeah.
But massive changes, I would say, over the next 5 years.
2026 is going to be ridiculous. But you know what? It's like not to put any fear. It's a good thing, right? It's like if you don't do this, then the new won't be birthed. We're
Exactly.
always talking about the transmutation, the fusion, and the birthing of a new, right? So
Mhm.
we're right exactly where we're supposed to be. This whole thing, the reason we wanted to do this pull is like for the collective to be aware. That's it. That's it. Just be aware, move around it. Like you don't have to take part in the circus, right? I'm not going to. I have chickens. I don't eat fake eggs. I don't eat meat. I'm going to get meat from the heterites for my family. So, what were we pulling on the momentum? So, yes, left out in the cold in the past, right? But then this is going, and this is my girl. She's going to come and light the fire under everybody's butts, right? And then we're going to see exactly what is happening. It's going to bring some heartache.
Mhm.
It's going to bring some heartache. And then that's when we're going to put our head down and start creating from a heart space.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
No,
Just don't
and
need.
I think it's also going to bring awareness to different ancient techniques and practices, because again, what truly sustains the body is prana. And when you look at, certain practices, not even just with eating, like they can sustain a lot of prana and energy within the body. So I think as Mother Earth is also going through her big transformation, that is going to affect us on many different levels. And I feel like eating is not like right now we consume, from my perspective, a lot of food where we don't need half that amount of food, right? We're just overindulging, and it's becoming this, so it's a social thing too. So when I look at this, I just feel like the momentum, like it's gonna get a little bit more intense. I feel like because people still need to be aware of all the junk that's really being put out there and put into our bodies, but is going to come back into sustaining new systems that can really sustain our prana and work with other, I feel like ancient techniques as well. So, you know, even though we're in a massive, era of big upheavals, it's all moving us forward into something beautiful if we go with the flow and we tune into our heart during that process as well.
And what's that? What's that? Surrender.
Exactly. Surrender, right? Oh
Surrender.
my goodness. That's a good one. I like it. I like it, you guys. Did you have any other questions you wanted to pull on
Can
that
we,
today?
can we deep dive in any other way on the cloned meat situation? I think we covered it
Well,
all.
yeah, I mean, I see it as unfortunately already being released.
Yeah,
Um,
we've been eating it. Sorry. Sorry, guys.
um, let's,
I want to get a goat. I'm gonna make
you
my
want to get a
own.
goat? Have you ever done goat yoga?
Well, no. I've never done goat.
When we went to Hawaii, there was just this, it's beautiful out there. There's this beautiful community. We went to this farm and just such amazing people, and all these goats came running down the hill, and we got to hang out with the goats, and it was just a phenomenal experience. But yeah, I love the goats as well.
Phil won't let me get the goat. I'm like trying to push it in the way. You don't have to do any yard work. We can get fresh milk that's not messed with. I can make cheese. I can make like yogurt. He's like, the goat's gonna eat our house. I'm like,
Oh, Christmas morning, you'll have a goat on your
I'll have a
balcony.
goat. I just need to, you know what? Like, don't ask, just do.
Right. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so funny. And then I just pulled a couple cards as well. And it's interesting because we have the eight, two eights. You got this as well, a lot of the eights. Eight of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, and the Sun.
Yes,
There's that
yes.
transparency, you guys. So I do think that there's gonna, Eight of Wands is fast energy. So I'm wondering if there's gonna be even an increase of more talks about this over the next even couple months, like 8 weeks here, and more transparency. And there's that Fool again, the Fool in the world. I love this. The Fool in the world. That's like a new leap into something new, right? So, yes, there's that heartbreak because for some people, they still have, their eyes shut in terms of like what we're truly consuming. But moving forward to more electric foods, you guys. Alkaline electric foods.
Alkaline. I'll tell you, and again, we are not naturopaths, but or anything like that. And I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but I haven't jumped all on board with the sarsaparilla and the all the supplements. But what I do is I go outside and I pick pine needles because I have like a forest outside. We cleared a lot of the trees, but I still have like a lot of pine trees. And so I pick them and then I steep them, right? And pine needle tea has so many things in it. I also drink a lot of like lime water, which is
Yes.
also alkalining. And then I also, because that's pretty much all I do, pine needle tea, lime water, and then the salt. What's the salt? The
Sea salt,
no,
or Baja, the Baja's gold salt.
yeah. And I just drink that, and I became a vegetarian. So little shifts to get yourself. It's a hard one, but like little shifts to kind of re-alkaline your body because it's like all these foods that they're doing. I'm sure all the fake foods are going to be super acidic, right?
I
So
know. Well, and even when you look at, we've been taught like carrots are good for you and broccoli is good for you. They're all hybrids. They're
yeah,
not actually, so looking into the depths of some of these things that we have this belief system, right? And, I think too, like food was also like downgraded a lot when the collective, like going back into those times with Atlantis and Lemuria, like the food was downgraded when the collective's frequency dropped. So that nourishment changed. And also with the changes with 3i Atlas and the momentum moving forward, we are going through those cycles again where things are returning again. So I think there's going to be a huge shift in the way we consume food over the next couple years. Absolutely. Um, I did pull a couple cards, but now I forgot what I asked. I had the Eight of Wands yet again, the Sun, and the Two of Cups. I think I was looking a little bit into your pine needles. That's what it was.
oh
It's
yes, because you
interesting.
did you did start shuffling when I was talking about that. Yes.
The Eight of Wands is like, think of the wands as the pine needles, because usually it's those pine needles flying through the
Yeah,
air, and we
yeah.
have the Sun and the Two of Cups. So
You
that
see?
alone
Oh my
is
gosh, yeah,
is
absolutely.
like a ding ding ding. Again, all of this, you guys, is just a perspective. I mean, we're not doctors, we're not naturopaths, but when we look at consuming these, amazing alkaline and electric foods, it does make a huge difference with the body, and also connecting to the pineal gland and their and our intuitive downloads as well, right? Because we're clear, we're not bogged up with all the crap.
Exactly. I did pull cards on like, is there any closing words? And I pulled it from an oracle deck, like my Gaia
Yeah.
oracle. Um, so I have kindness,
Ooh.
but then the kindness comes with revenge. So there's gonna, oh my gosh, like so much just fits, right? Right now, I feel that the collective needs to really learn how to harness their emotions and not let their emotions like take over themselves, right? Because I feel that a lot of people are going to get very, very, very angry, but then to master that with like kindness, right? So I'm not saying like be they've inverted kindness, they've inverted niceness, right? So it's kind of like go within, know that you want to put your head down at night. Yes, honor the anger and all the stuff that's coming out, but like balance it, transmute it. Again, the same message. And then this, wow, Bree, and that is all going to happen when the truth comes out.
Wow.
Wow. So yeah, it's definitely aligned. We're exactly where we're supposed to be. Global news is still messing around, so I don't know if why they're doing that, but there's kind of like because the devil came out, right? The devil came out at the end of it, and it's going to bring up a lot. The devil in the Five of Swords, I think, came out with the global
Yeah,
news.
this seven of five of yeah, five of swords or seven of swords, one of the two, which is again about deception, but it's winning at all costs as well, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we look at a lot of those institutions as being greedy and just profit driven, right? So they don't want the best for humanity. They just want to fill their pocketbooks up. And what's interesting, I feel like this could be an energy for you, but I had another card fly out and it was the dragon. And the dragon is your guide. It's your energy. And I love that. That's that beautiful, strong. You know what? Really cool. The dragon and the owl, which is my energy and my guide, and the dragon is your energy and your guide. So together, it's a beautiful combo.
I love it. And I know we've been in Lemuria together. Like I've seen us like in Lemuria together.
I remember going into the Akashic with that and I seen a beautiful energy. And you know how I was saying how you'd like to do your morning tarot talks and getting together in the morning? That was what I seen in Lemuria, but there was this pond. Not a pond. It was like this, yeah, I guess we could say like river pond, and it had this flowing water, and every morning everyone would come together, and it was this communion and community coming together for the morning. And I don't know, it was just a beautiful, beautiful energy. So I've seen us in that aspect in past lives as well.
Mhm. And if anybody wants to join us in the morning, like we're expanding. So we meet in the morning and we also have evening classes. They're not classes, they're not classes. It's just like a get together kind of support group. We talk about anything that comes up. We pull tarot. So if you're looking for a spiritual community to walk with, definitely join our Telegram group and you're more than welcome. It doesn't cost any money. We're just doing it for the service of the collective and the service to Mother Earth. And just, you know what? Like when I woke up, I was like super lonely, lost all my friends. But then I found like new friends, right? And like and that's the thing. You got to go through the darkness to get into the expansion of the transforming of the new life, right? So,
That is so perfect too. And that dragon is like that encoded memory that's awakening within you. And my back of the deck is the bat, and the bat is that transformation again, right? So you went through massive transformation, and it's so lovely to be able to connect with our soul tribes. Like we love you guys and everyone tuning in. Everybody's been just so amazing and so supportive. So yes, for sure. If you guys want a community you're looking to join, then come join Marcia and our other lovely souls that are in that group. It's a phenomenal group.
and Bree sometimes comes too.
Yeah, I try to come when I can. We do try to do the meditations too. We're going to be doing. Do we have one in December? I think coming up.
December 19th. There's also December 4th. I'm going to look into that, see what the Three Eye Atlas is doing December 4th, where it's actually at, but definitely December 19th because that's the solstice and that's also the new moon in Sagittarius, which is the expansion. And I really feel that humanity and the collective are having the opportunity to expand into their Padma, so to open up the gateway to the divine. So you all have this. Every single person has this, right? So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yay. I love it. Well, I'm so excited. Thank you for having a fun tarot chat and
I love
catch up
you.
chat. I
I
love you so
know.
much.
Thanks for
um,
hanging.
yes, we'll have to get together and do another tarot video soon. But yeah, that
Well,
was fun.
Friday, you're having your Patreon thing, right?
Yeah, Patreon. We'll be doing the live Zoom on there, so we'll be getting some topics and have a fun chat with everyone on there on Friday. So I guess I'll see you Friday.
Mhm. Yeah, the crew is absolutely coming to your Patreon. Everybody's going to come. So everybody go to Bree's Patreon because she has so many things there, like tarot classes. She talked about the Ankh. I still have to watch that one. And then, like I said, when you were gone, I just kind of like deep dived into your Patreon.
Oh,
So
I love
you have
you.
some great content in there. Yeah.
Oh, I love you. Yes, it's still growing. It's still growing. It was one of those things where I wasn't planning on doing it, and then I thought about it, and it kept getting put on the back burner. I'm like, I'm just gonna launch it and go with the flow. So it's been great, and I've really enjoyed connecting with all of you guys. You guys have been fabulous. So yay, I love it. But I love you so very much, and I guess we will be back for another tarot reading in the near future. So again, don't forget to check out Marcia and her YouTube channel as well. I'll put all the links below so you guys can join them in their group. I'm not sure how that works with the Telegram, if I can put that in there, but
Don't put that in there, just because there's bots, right? We just want
yeah.
to make sure that they're actual people. There, anybody's more than welcome to have the link. I just need to make sure that there's bots. So if you know the person, absolutely give them the Telegram thing. But what I do is like send me a message and I'll send you the link, kind of thing,
All
right?
right. And I think your email's on the
Emails on there.
yeah, so you guys
Yeah.
can email her if you guys want to join the soul group, beautiful group. And yeah, until next time, guys, I guess we'll talk to you later. Okay, bye for now.
Love you.